The only thing most agree on about Geneva's forthcoming peace talks is they probably won't end Syria's war. The regime won't agree to the West's demand talks focus on Assad leaving power. And most of the rebels doing the fighting inside Syria won't agree to anyone even attending on their behalf.
Now, obviously, none of this will be easy. Ending a war and stopping a slaughter never is easy.
But are flawed talks better than no talks at all?
It may have a very small incremental gain, step by step, humanitarian issues, refugee issues, something else. It may clarify the players. Despite all of these vague aspects of this process, it's worth being there, and I think everybody should be there to test it out.
They will be the first real talks after nearly 3 years and 120,000 deaths over a war whose new horrors quickly outstrip the old. It was just 4 months ago that sarin gas was used on children. Today, rebels are dying in fighting against Al-Qaeda, and starvation is the regime's newest weapon of war, says the UN. The regime said it led aid into one besieged Camp Yarmouk this weekend. Tiny steps, amid endless disarray in the Syrian opposition, who could barely muster an approval vote to even attend. But how long will they stay at the table until they hit the key sticking point, which the West says is the main tenet of the talks, finding a way for Assad to step down?
There is no political solution whatsoever if Assad is not discussing a transition and if he thinks he's going to be part of that future. It's not going to happen. The people who are the opponents of this regime will never, ever stop.
Now we're going to start directly, immediately addressing the main question of the negotiations, which is forming the transitional governing body. And that would be item 1 on the agenda.
A Russian news agency Sunday reported Assad saying his departure wasn't up for discussion, remarks swiftly denied by his press office. Perhaps he is under pressure.
The question of political incumbency or retirement for the Assad regime is going to be determined largely by the external players, the Russians, the Iranians and others, and the Saudis and Americans, Europeans, Chinese, how they react to the situation. And all of this remains to be seen.
An opening to peace? Unlikely. Just better than the alternative of nothing at all. Nick Payton-Walsh, CNN, Beirut.